Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of combining functions. And let's just kind of go over what we talked about yesterday. So we talked about yesterday how you can add functions together, you can subtract functions, you can multiply them, you can divide them. Don't forget the composition of functions where we do f of g of x. And so we're going to be doing all of this stuff today, but we're going to be combining it with discrete functions. So discrete functions, they're not lines, they're not curves, they're just a bunch of points. So they are functions, so no points are on top of each other, but they don't make any pattern or anything like that. They're just like random points. And so we're going to be doing all of these things that we talked about yesterday and applying them to basically just coordinate points. Okay, so let's start off. Notice our function now looks different. We just have random coordinate points for f and g. Versus yesterday, we might have had like lines or square roots or different things like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're not getting away from the fact that we are adding f of 2 and g of 2 together. So that is the same as yesterday. But what's different is that this is still, well, this is the same. This is still our x coordinate, or our x point of our coordinate. So I'm going to look here. When our x is 2, what is our y? So our y is 3 in this case. So my answer of f of 2 is 3. So let's try it for g. So g of 2, I'm going to come over here, and g of 2 is 5. And so now I'm just going to add them together. 3 plus 5 is 8. Okay, let's do this again. So we've got g of 7 minus f of 7. So now I'm looking for 7. Okay, so g of 7 right here, that is going to be 2. And f of 7 is going to be 11. And 2 minus 11 is negative 9. Okay, let's do multiplication. So I have f of 7 times g of 7. Okay, so this is the same number. So I'm just taking 11 times g of 7, 2 is 22. And finally, let's do division. I think we've already found f of 2 and g of 2. Let's see, f of 2 is 3, and g of 2 is 5. So my answer is 3/5. Okay, now let's apply it to composition of functions. So we talked yesterday about this is the same thing as f of g of 2. So we're going to be doing what we just did. So finding the y coordinate when the x coordinate of g is 2. So our y coordinate here is 5. So I have f of 5. And so I'm going to come over here and find the 5 for my x coordinate. So my answer is going to be 4. Okay, let's do this again. So I have g of f of 5. Okay, so f of 5, we just found that is 4. And g of 4, I'm going to come over here, is 3. Okay, let's do it. Notice that this doesn't have a number. So this is kind of weird. So this is the same thing as f of x plus g of x. Just know when you see that, that's what it's asking for. Okay, so this is what you need to remember. You must have the same coordinate. If you don't, it's going to be undefined. So let me kind of explain what I'm talking about. Okay, so I have, let's look up here. We have the same x coordinate here for 2, and we also have the same x coordinate here for 7. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the matching x coordinates and do what it tells you to do for the y coordinate points. So for instance, for the 2's, I'm going to have 2, 3, and then plus 2, 5, and the 2 is going to be the same. You're just going to add your y's together. So my answer is going to be 2, 8, like that. So let's do the same thing for the 7. So I've got 11 plus 2 is 13. So my other answer is 713. Like that. Okay, let's do this again. So I have f of x minus g of x. So I'm going to find the like coordinate point. So again, it's going to be 2 and 7. So now I'm going to subtract my y. So 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So I have 2, negative 2. And then I also have, let's see, for my 7 coordinate, I have 11 minus 2. So I have 7, 9. And so that's my answer for that one. Let's go ahead and do multiplication division. So same thing. So I'm going to still have the 2 and the 7. But now I'm going to be multiplying my y coordinates together. So up here, let's just look at this. 3 times 5 is 15. And then for my y, 2 times 11 is 22. Okay, now I'm going to divide f divided by g. So still, again, I'm going to have my 2 and my 7. I'm not messing with my x part of my coordinate point. And so let's see, f, so I have 3 fifths. So let's write that down. So 2, 3 fifths. And then I have 11 over 2. So 11 halves, like that. Okay, so let's talk about composition of functions. This is when the undefined can show up. So this is the same thing as f of g of x. And so I'm going to take each number, each x coordinate for my g that I see. So I've made a mess up here. Let's clean this up. Okay, so let's see, for my x coordinate, I have a 2, I have a 4, and I have a 7. So I'm going to list that down here. So 2, 4, and 7. So I'm going to go through each one of them and plug it in, get my y, and then plug my y into my f coordinate. So let's see how this works. So g of x to my y coordinate, my y coordinate is 5. So I'm gonna find 5 over here, and then my answer is going to be the y coordinate for my x. So my answer is going to be 4. So let me write this out. So f of 5 equals 4. Okay, so let's do this again. So we've got a 4. So my y coordinate for 4 is 3. But notice when I come over here, there's not a 3 for my x coordinate. So this is where the undefined comes up. There's no matching x coordinate. So this is going to be undefined. Okay, let's do this again. So we've got f of 7 is, g of 7 is 2. So I'm going to go over here on the f side and find the y coordinate when f is 2. And so my answer is 3. Okay, so let's go the other way. So g of f of x. So now I'm going to start with all my x coordinate points for my f side. So I have 2, 5, and 7. Okay, so now I'm going in the opposite direction and sticking it in g of x. So for 2, let's see, 2 is 3. My y coordinate is 3, so I'm going to plug in 3 over here. Oh, but I don't have a matching one, so I'm going to stop and say undefined. Okay, let's do it again. So 5, let's see, what's my y coordinate for 5? My y coordinate for 5 is 4, so I'm going to find the matching 4 point over here, right here. So my answer is 3. Okay, let's do it one more time. So 7, I'm going to find my matching 7 over here. And, sorry, I forgot to do the y point. So 7, so my answer is 11. My y value is 11. So I'm going to find my matching 11 over here, and I can't. So again, it's undefined. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do For some reason, it is not marked in here. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it should be on your notes. For some reason, it didn't print out. Okay, so this is how your two functions should look. So what we're going to do is we're going to take f of g of 0. So the first thing I'm going to do is find when my x coordinate for my g function is 0. So with the x coordinate for g function right there. So my y value is 3. So f of 3. Now I'm going to go over to the green side and find when my x value is 3, and my answer is going to be your y value. So 1, 2, 3, and my answer is 0. Okay, let's do it again. Notice that this one is the same function. That's totally okay. So f of 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 is 2. And now I'm going to plug it in again when x is 2 for my x function. So 1, 2, and my answer is -2. And that's it.